Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Today, I wanted to share a brief little message on a news story that came out last week in mainstream news about Vivek Ramaswamy. This story pointed to an inconsistency in Vivek's messaging, specifically regarding the holiday of Juneteenth. On Juneteenth, Vivek appears to have posted on Twitter, Juneteenth is a new holiday, so we still have a chance to define what it means to us.
But the thing that makes our country beautiful actually isn't even the scenery. It's the vision of what this place can be.
It needn't be about grievance and self-flogging. Let it be a celebration of the American dream itself.
That you still get ahead in this country based on your own hard work, your own commitment, your own dedication. That's the American dream that I lived. It's the American dream we want to give to the next generation. That's what we celebrate on Juneteenth.
Which sounds like a very pro-Juneteenth message. We have an opportunity to define this holiday for ourselves. There is some kind of utility to this holiday. Contrast that with what he later said in front of a group of voters.
Single day voting on Election Day. We will make Election Day a holiday in the United States of America, so there's no complaints about it. Cancel Juneteenth or one of the other useless ones we made up, okay?
Do you think Juneteenth is a useless holiday?
I basically do.
Obviously, mainstream news is going to jump on this story. If they find an inconsistency within your political message and they don't have an incentive to support your campaign, they're going to come after you in some way. And based on what I've seen from mainstream news, it appears as if the framing is going to be mostly negative. Nonetheless, if supporters of Vivek are calling him out on his own inconsistencies and hypocrisies, this will be a stronger movement. I also want to make it clear that I don't condemn viewpoint evolution. This is a big factor when people are evaluating a candidate's authenticity, that they need to have said the same thing for a very long period of time. And if their views are wishy-washy, especially during a period of being in office, that delegitimizes what they are saying at the current time. As someone who voted for Bernie Sanders in 2016, I get the attractiveness of viewpoint consistency. That's one of the things that Bernie supporters love about the guy. It's that he's been saying the same thing over and over for decades, talking about the same corporate corruption, the same issues regarding money in politics, even when those were not hot-button subjects.
The wealthiest people in our country are becoming wealthier. To a large degree, the tax system in this country is extremely unfair, and that it asks working people and elderly people and poor people to pay too much, while large corporations and wealthy people do not pay their fair share.
On the flip side, I am someone who has changed a lot in 7 years since I voted for Bernie Sanders. Not only my political perspectives, but my own identity has changed a lot. Part of that is that I'm young, but part of that is that we naturally evolve as humans. You're not going to believe the same things today as you're going to believe in 10 years. Because guess what? Times change. The issues that were important to you then might not be important to you now. And certain issues that weren't important at one point might be more important. I recognize all of that. And yet, when we are looking at a 2-month separation between a video being posted in support of Juneteenth and a video where more negative sentiments are being expressed, we have to be able to point out the inconsistency. If I had to guess which of these two messages was more in line with his authentic views, I would say it's the latter. The original Juneteenth Twitter video, to me, is a bit inauthentic. He's posing by the lake in a very peaceful region. The language he uses in the tweet sounds a little bit platitude-like. And I highly doubt that his viewpoint on Juneteenth has actually evolved from pro to anti in that short of a time frame while he's running for president. More so, what I thought is taking place is over the last 2 months, he's become more popular, especially among the conservative base. He feels more comfortable in front of his base and more emboldened to say things that he actually believes. Whereas in this early going, he was broadcasting a message on Twitter that he thought might have some broader public appeal, even if it wasn't entirely genuine. We all make mistakes. We all do things that we realize down the road might not be accurate representations of what we believe, but that doesn't make it less of a mistake. I hope Vivek recognizes that this was an error, not just in terms of political strategy. It's just an error in terms of broadcasting a message that people can get behind. Do you believe in Juneteenth as a holiday, or do you not? Do you think it's something that we can redefine and organize around, or do you think it's something that's useless? That consistency is going to make the message of Vivek's campaign much stronger. I obviously do not have any control over how Vivek is running his campaign. What I do have control over is the message I can put forth surrounding this controversy. And as people in the audience who presumably like what this guy has to say and want to see him thrive in his campaign, I think the best thing that we can do to broaden our appeal is to call out those who we support when they make mistakes. It'll make us seem not like all of the other political hypocrites that have been running this country for decades. I don't know where my audience stands on this, but hopefully you at least see where I'm coming from, and maybe you also share the commitment to authenticity as well. That's all for today. I have a longer video coming out tomorrow. See you then.